Hey there, I am JP, and in today's episode we are going to add a massive production line to this oil refinery, which gives us a ton of new resources. Also, I've been doing some off-camera work and made a whole new factory with some resources that need to be used and transported to this area, and then we can create some new resources that then needs to be transported back to that factory. But more about this later on in this episode. And Halboma, thank you for your comment, and if you guys want your comment to be shown in this series, then drop them down below. Now first things first, there are a couple of unlocks into this MAM system that I want to take a look at before starting everything else, because we are going to also need something that is in this MAM system. One thing that I already did, I unlocked 12 extra of these slots by just filling in some simple things. Now let's take a little look in here what we can do and what is needed. For this one I don't need anything. For this one I don't need anything just yet. For this one we got medical, which isn't really neat. I believe the black that looks like coal type of deal is something that comes from mushrooms. Now we do have here another slot that is later on going to be very handy, but before doing that, I'm going to unlock this guy. And this guy contains or needs one of the things that is coming from the ore refinery factory. So I'm going to need to keep that in mind to pick 100 of that blue stuff. For the nutrient, there is something. You know what? Let's just see what this is and unlock it. I'm gonna take that guy. Now we have unlocked it, and let's see. So this is a medical inhaler. I'm not going to need that right now, but it is of course fun to see, you know, what comes from it. Now for the power slug, it is completed. The quads though, there is something that I really would like to have, and that is this radar technology. This is something that I'm really going to need off camera, so let me just quickly fix all of the needed needs for that. I'm going to need to have 100 circuit boards, and in order to make that, all I needed was some extra plastic. Alright, I have all the resources needed for this guy right down here. Let's see what it researches. Oh, that looks very nice. Right, so now I should have a very important thing, because this tower should give me some more information about the stuff that is in the surrounding area. Let me see where it's at. So far I am being blind. Maybe it's gonna be handy if I select the right stuff here. I guess. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we now have the radius tower. It will cost 10 of those. Ooh, it costs a lot. But what is nice about this tower is it says radar towers can scan the surrounding area to display additional information on the map. The information revealed on the map includes resource node locations, and I believe it will also show you which one are already in use. It shows any terrain data, flora and fauna information, and notable sign readings. So I do believe it will show power slugs, which is going to be super duper handy because I keep running out of that stuff. Now also another thing that I have been quickly grabbing is this guy. So we're gonna quickly research it. I want to see what it will give. Of course, click the notification because only then it will show what is up with that. Okay, this says a medical inhaler vitamin. Therapeutic inhaler. Okay. I'm really wondering what that kind of means though. Will this just give you like a running boost or jump boost above the stuff that you already can? This one, I have no idea what that is. So the thing here is, for this episode, we are really going to need to have compacted coal. Because what I would like to do is make another coal power plant near the ore refinery, if there is of course some coal in the area. If not, then I'm going to, you know, do something else off camera, because I have already been taking care that we have some extra power, because I already noticed that the power was kind of reaching its limit. So I got it up to 2400 megawatts. Last time I believe it was 1700 or even 1800, and yeah, as you can see, we are getting into, you know, the close area of it. I just did to see, maybe an off-camera project. Well, let's research this guy. We also have something that is called turbo fuel, but in order to do turbo fuel, I'm going to need to have, what that is packaged fuel. So this is something that we're going to fix for today, at least onto the refinery. And this is going to be a very important one. And for this very important one, I'm going to need to produce smokeless powder. And the new factory has something to do with one of the basics of this stuff, which is the normal black powder, I believe it's called. And we need some of this. Now this is not a problem, of course, but two ingredients I already have taken care of, and I will show you more about that later on, because this guy is going to help us a lot, removing all of those blockades and rocks and whatnot. And of course there's a lot more fun stuff, but we need like rubber and whatnot. All right, let me see something here. Is there any sulfur in the area? I know there is some sulfur here, which has already been taken for a new off-camera project, which I will show you later on. And of course there is some more silver, I believe somewhere over here. I think it was here, which has not been taken just yet. And by the look of it, this one is claimed. We have one. Oh, we have a lot of silver right down here, which is very nice, but it's a long way around. I've not been discovering this area just yet, but I might just get some silver here. I need to transport it all the way somewhere over here where I got some more coal, because if we going to check out the coal, going to show us, I believe there should be some coal here. Some coal here. Now these two are already being taken for the coal factory. Now of course what I could do eventually is, you know, take this coal and then transfer it into compacted coal, but it doesn't going to give me more power over time. I'm going to make more factories, because you know I slowly but surely going to be very tight onto power slug, so I need to build something new. Now there is something here, there's silver here, and transport it all the way here and then here. It's going to be a very long trip, which I might need to unlock trains at some point and transport a whole bunch of that stuff. It's a lot quicker and a lot more fun. Now of course the one thing that I have been doing is I've been making a couple of resources in order to make a tower. In this case I'm just gonna get rid of that and grab all of these, those and them, and then I should be able to make a tower. Let's see where it's at. Ooh, that's a big boy. Now I just want to place it out here, and the thing is for now, when I do my off-camera stuff to say, I'm not really forced to keep this guy here. I can just demolish it and take it with me. Eventually, that's a massive tower. I can just take it, you know, I could just place him everywhere. But the thing is, there are a couple of products which I am really, oh, that's also refueling stuff. And to be honest, I thought it would refuel power slugs too. By the way, I didn't know there was some more oil down here too. What is this down here? Alright, this is a little bit disappointing. Maybe it's logic. Not quite sure. I'm like, what am I hearing in the background? I hear some air raid horn. But I forgot, every first Monday of the month here in the Netherlands, the air raid horn is getting tested to see if it still works, and I'm glad I can hear that one just in case if. But yeah, I guess I'm going to need to do this on foot. Now I just want to see, is there like config? Ah, look. Oh, silly me, I should have been checking this out earlier. So, ooh, there are 47. Can I not quick signals? Fauna, flora. Why can't I? Ah, that would be so awesome. If anyone know if it's possible to see this stuff on here, then let me know. Or maybe I'm being a dum-dum and I need to... No, that doesn't make any sense because everything is showing. Well, that is a little bit of a shame, but if anyone of you know, like, if it's still possible that I'm missing something, then yeah, just let me know in the comment section. If not, then I'll just have to go on foot. Or what is going to be super handy is actually a jetpack, especially at night. A jetpack is going to reveal so much of that stuff. Of course, here and there are trees. But at least a part of the problem will be solved that is hard to find. So right now I got 18. I hope that will be enough. But at least good to know that there are 2 more of these oil places on that island near me. For now I don't see that I'm really going to need. But of course if I later on need it, it won't be a problem. Now the first thing that I am going to need to do is change this guy into rubber. But there is a little bit of a problem which we're also going to need to solve. I'm just trying to take this off and put it into this guy. Now the problem that I'm having is, well, I guess for now it is solved. The problem was that this guy is all the way filled up. It is completely full, and that means that the machine wasn't working anymore. Yeah. The good thing is, once you unlock your first piece of plastic, you also unlock this gigantic, massive, big guy. What we can do is continue this into whatever it's needed, right? So we can use this guy for rubber, and then make a new one for plastic with that guy. Just want to keep it 1 product per, because for now it is fine as it is. Also, I've taken the power slugs out of it because at some point I just have enough, and this basically also means I can just, you know, like minimalize the production for now until I really know what I am going to need it for, and then just always crank it up. And for now I believe it says 30. Yeah, this just, you know, I can just go ahead forever with that. Now the one thing I do find a shame is that for the unlocks we need the HUD, right? Or the hub in this case. I'm not sure how much rubber I'm going to need to unlock the assembly package line. So I'm just going to keep continuing with this and then see how much I got in like 15 minutes. But the problem is already it is full. So can we already do something with what we have? I guess just take some plastic, and then we have the first packager. So let's see, this thing looks not too awful big. It also has a fluid exit and a fluid entrance. That makes a lot of sense, of course. Let me just see, let me just place it down, let me just check it out. We can also unpack stuff. Wow, I see. That's why there's an entrance and exit. Yeah, I get the deal here. And this game goes deep. I do love it. So we can also pack water, which one of the things that we are going to need is package water. So the thing that I really want is this stuff for the explosive rebar, because by the comment, explosive rebar is the one you use for the gigantic rocks. So for this, I am going to need heavy oil and black powder. That all? Well, in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to store all of this stuff, and then I'm going to show you the other base and pick up some of the basic stuff that I need. The thing here is, I don't need for now rebars forever, but at least I want to set up the assembly line right down here so it can already make some of the stuff that I need to have some fun. Now before, I have been saying we're going to transport some of the goodies from the secret factory to the refining factory, and then it needs to go back. But I have just been thinking, like, if I'm going to transport a lot of sulfur to some other area, pack it there in with coal into compacted coal and transport it to this area, why am I not already also taking the goodies that I need for this area from the factory, right? That makes a lot of sense. So, long story short, let me see what I need for train stuff. I'm going to need to have this guy, right? The computer. And the computer is something that I'm going to need to research, which might sound logic. What am I going to need to research? Ooh. That looks fancy. I'm going to need to research industrial manufacturing, which 200 of these and 200 of these. I'm going to keep that in mind. Now for the jetpack though, I'm going to have 50 of these, which is packet fuel. I'm also going to take a screenshot of that for the jetpack, and I'm definitely going to need to set up a heavy modular frame factory I'm going to have a lot of that stuff. But in this case, I'm going to show you my secret off-camera project. Now the thing is, in the last episode I've been saying that I need a lot of like gunpowder or black powder, and I've been thinking, you can already see it popping up there above, why not just make a factory? And not just a factory, I want to make a factory that is going to provide me firepower, and not only just black powder and gunpowder and soft gunpowder, whatever it was saying, but also explosives, railgun ammo, and whatever you can think of. So down here I just made this big boy. Just go in via the middle here. As you can see down there, it's already producing a lot of stuff. Now it's not finished yet because a lot of the stuff I cannot do, but as you can see, I got a ton of this stuff, which I'm going to need to use a ton of that. So that is very well. I'm going to bring that all the way up to the ore refinery so we can make a lot of that, whatchamacallit, smokeless powder. Okay, so we have black powder and smokeless powder. I see. So yeah. Another thing right down here, this thing will later be decoupled from the assembly line that goes to the sink, because I don't need that much stuff. This is just if I want to experiment, and it's still a lot. Look at this. This whole guy is filled up with iron rebar. Like I said, it will be disconnected because I don't think I'm ever going to pass this level of what I need. And of course, right down here, oh boy, we have a lot of these Noblest explosives. Now of course there are a couple of containers left. There are actually 2 left on this side and 3 on that side. Now on this side I want to have explosive rebars, at least in this guy. And of course there are 2 left. Now there is some new type of weapon that we can unlock in the future with new type of ammo. And I guess there are 2 type of ammo from that that I'm really gonna like. And maybe more. I just have to see, but at least I got 2 containers left. For this side we have for smokeless powders, this guy and this guy. We can make these nuclear explosive, which is an upgrade of this guy. Also going to be a lot of fun. Now up here there is a couple of things already going on. This assembly line makes these pipe explosive, as I'm gonna call them. These 2 guys on either side are going to make these black powder stuff. This guy right down here is making the rebars, and I already got an extra connection. Like I said, I'm going to disconnect it at some point, so all of these rebars will go to the explosive rebar, which will then end up in this guy in the container. Now you can imagine I'm going to need to have 1 assembly line transported all the way up to the ore refinery to make these smokeless powder, because I don't want to have like a giant pipeline going to this factory. I'd rather think it is easy to just, you know, bring the gunpowder there and then gunpowder back, something like that. Alright, so once up here, it's gonna go to the server, right? Below here there's another pathway. I could have in the end connected it up to there, but there's a reason that I wanted to have like 2 holes here. One is for the coal, because there is some coal stuff down here, and this one is doing the piping, which is another factory up there. I had to destroy a whole forest. Like, this was all completely packed up with foliage and trees and whatnot, but there are 2 of these iron nodes here, which makes it possible for me to make the piping, and or another part of the coal is actually coming from downstairs. There are 4 coal nodes. Now one other thing though, it was showing me on the radar that there was some more coal between the 2 spots that I already had, which I find a little bit strange because I do not see it onto the map. There are 2 down here and the 2 down there, better to say those. So let me just see once again. And now it doesn't show up, you see that? something to figure out later on. For now, you know, maybe it's like in a cave or something. I'm gonna go back and yeah, let's start building on the refinery because I'm talking too much. Alright, so in this case, this guy is all the way filled up to the brim, which now in this case we can start having some fun. Alright, now first things first, I think what I really would like to have is another power building right over there. The reason why I'm saying that is because we're also going to have a spot for a train station, and I think a spot for a train station would be nice if we go with a train around the building and do something into this spot right down here onto the wood. Just fill this up very nice. Reason why I'm saying this is this will give me a little bit of a idea. I wanted to say, why is this thing show like, hey, you're clipping or what? An idea where I need to build my focus towards to. Yeah, that is rude. I just wanted to say, you know, this is not too bad having the power there, but then I see the stairways, it is really bad. You know what, I guess this is perfect. This is absolutely to the max. I don't want to build it up into the sky. I don't want to build like another smoky tower. I'm really going to be careful with the space down here. So what needs to happen right now is I'm going to connect this guy up to this guy, and I'm going to need to have a entrance or at least a spot where I'm going to later on connect this guy up to the train station where the gunpowder will be transported to. Alright, I placed the first assembly line of this episode down here. It is very simple. The pipe that was coming out underneath here is now continuing that way into this refinery, and or I got like a little conveyor belt going that way. Eventually this conveyor belt ends up onto the train station, so what you're about to see right down here will be gone by then. For now, I can just store all of this good stuff in here, and we are going to need to have 20 raw oil and 20 of this black powder, 10 per minute. Okay, so we need 10. I believe then this guy is making 20. Okay, so there we go. Now it makes all sense. And the thing is, I don't need like tons and tons and forever of this stuff. Like certain things you make in this game, you only need like a little bit of it. I just needed to destroy a couple of rocks. Maybe later on more. I can always crank up the production. It is just one line for now. I can split this stuff up into two. That guy is running on as low as possible, and yeah, the oil extractor is, you know, 240. I think this guy would use like 30 or 40, so I got a lot to go. Now this guy now is making smokeless powder, and this stuff also eventually will go and be transported via the train station. Now I just have to see here, because for now I'm going to just take this good stuff out of here, right? So I'm just gonna grab my stuff, simply place a container down here, and then just connect it up. So at least for now I'm placing this container down here and just quickly connect it up. It is super ugly, but look at these big type of packages down here, which is a smokeless powder, right? Right, okay, so that is done. That's the first one. And so on, I've been also making a couple of other assembly lines. I will just take you on a small little tour. Now, first of all, I've been disassembling the bridge that goes over towards the train station, because I thought it looked way better if we put them two together. So one of these is the intake that will transport all the production that comes from the train into this oil refinery and goes to wherever it needs, right? Then we have this one is for the outtake. It will take all of the production, which is the packaged fuel, which is right down here, along with the smokeless powder, goes into this guy and it goes out. It was a little bit of puzzling, but it was a lot of fun to do. Like the smokeless powder goes up there, goes behind there, and then it connects us up to this guy, the package fuel with this guy. So I got 2 intakes left and 1 outtake left. Of course I can expand if need for whatever reason. Now this guy makes the plastic comes out there, goes in there, then goes behind the ore extractor toward this packaging. Here comes in the empty canisters and or 40 fuel per minute, which is I believe the only fuel that we are making from this guy. Let me see. Yes, 40 comes out. Now the 60 that goes in here, I believe it's 25 from that guy, and then the rest comes from this guy. It is actually making more than I need, but the only reason for that is the amount of plastic that I needed. Like, this is really difficult to balance out, but that's fine for now. Anything else? Yeah, it's just a little bit of puzzling, you know. This stuff here comes out of the back, goes up, then underneath here, and then goes along. I really like this because, you know, it looks even like this. And first I was like messing around. I thought, hey, why is this orange pipeline not all the way getting gray? But then I forgot the fuel that comes out is orange, because this one is purple, and this guy goes all the way into the back of this package plant. And for the oil that comes out from this guy, goes via the side up to the refinery when we make plastic. And that is basically it for now. What I am going to need to do for now, since I don't really know what else I'm going to need, like there is a couple of other things, like there is package oil, but I am not quite sure just yet for what I need this stuff. I can understand you can pack it in, transport it elsewhere. I get that idea. This one I don't think I am going to use it. For now, this is really what I'm going to need for you know, my vehicles, what I'm going to need for my jetpack and that good stuff. But the thing that I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then we're going to start unlocking some stuff, because to continue further, for example, to get the monorail up and running, we're going to unlock some stuff. And what also going to need to happen at some point is I'm going to need to make a heavy modular frame factory. I'm going to need to make a factory for that yellow thing with a disc on it. I'm not sure what it's called from out my head, but I need to make a couple of things before continuing. But I'll guess in the next episode what we're going to focus on is building a part of the monorail. And or I have seen that the turbo fuel also uses compacted coal, which is very interesting, because at some point turbo fuel I believe would be the best one to use for the vehicles. With the compacted coal we can also make some new power buildings, and with that I also wonder what will be the next power unlock, right? We cannot just keep going and going with the power fuel, but I'll guess these ones might reveal our next power industry. Now we have here a fuel generator, and I'm looking at it. Consumed fuel to generate electricity for the power grid has a pipe input, so the fuel supply can be automated. Caution: always generate at a set clock speed. Shuts down if fuel requirements. Yeah, I think that is a little bit logic though. And then transport it into this guy. Might be a little confusing how I say it. But let us take a little look here, because if I'm not wrong, I should have at least all the requirements. One other thing I'm going to do is make a new screw factory just for now. That will be demolished later on, because the problem I'm having is that the screws right now is not filling up, or at least for the storage area, because I cannot expand the conveyor belt. I'm maxed out on that, and I don't want to make like a third floor for that. So let's take a small little look here. So this guy is something that I need the compacted coal for, and the hard drive, which is not too much of a problem. This guy I'm going to have 200 rebar. All right, let's research that. Beautiful, beautiful. But that should now be a thing, and then we can start just blowing up some stuff. Now let me see, there was another thing maybe that I need to do. Radial signal scanning. Scannable object hard drive. Yeah, I'm not like hard drives isn't like the most difficult thing to get. It's rather the power slug, but the jetpack would really help us out on that already. So in this case, you need 100 motors and 1000 wire, which will give us the super manufacturer, which looks a little bit like a harvester or something. The big truck, which is also going to be a fun thing to play around with. This is what we really need, and of course those two for our top goal. So let's just launch this one into the sky.
Milestone reached. The manufacturer increases production complexity. A critical look at production line logistics and efficiency is recommended during integration. The truck allows for increased efficiency in transportation, automated or otherwise. New project parts enable progress to the next phase.
Thank you a lot for that. Yeah, so this guy, which is just insane, and this guy, which is also insane. So yeah, we're really getting into the whatchamacallit, the heavy modular frame, which are going to need normal frames, we're going to need the pipes, we're going to need this butter package and screw. So what is also going to be handy, which I hope then it could also be possible to do here, is the upgrade of this guy. 100 of these and 50 of those. This is not a problem anymore. This stuff, I hope, yeah, we could make that in here. It does require circuit boards, not too difficult. Cable is not too difficult, and screws once again. Yeah, unlock this probably then in the next episode. And I wonder how expensive this guy is, but with this guy we can upgrade our screw factory, and then, you know, I can demolish the other one, and then we can also use this, I guess. Maybe we don't even need compacted coal anymore for, you know, power stuff. Then we could just right away plant a couple of these on the ore refinery island. The hell was that? Did I just drove over myself there? That was crazy. Yes, I drove all the way back because I needed some of these rubber. Now let me see here. That is what I actually wanted to do. So we're gonna select the milestone, which I have to wait for 3 more minutes. But meanwhile, I'm thinking of it, which I have to be this guy. Let's take a little look at the explosive rebar, because oh boy, I am so wondering about this guy. These rocks are just not removable. Anyways, let's just continue on to the good stuff there, which now can have a jetpack.
R&D inflated your pocket dimension and has provided a jetpack which operates on oil-based fuel for increased navigational capabilities as well as odds of survival.
Also seems like we can carry some more stuff, which is super duper nice. Let's grab one. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is going to be such a relief on finding power slugs. Right, okay. But wait, you cannot like stay in the air when on the ground. Okay, I guess there is something else we need to unlock then, because I have seen people like floating around into the sky. I guess one more thing, if I can. Nah, not really. So yeah, before we're going to do this whole fun show, I'm going to need to make sure that I got all of the resources, which is going to take a little while since I don't have any production set up. And then in the next episode, I would like to start having fun with monorail, and or we're going to take care of some compacted steel, maybe some turbo fuel, which will take care that I can stay in the air for a little bit longer than that. But nonetheless, I think this was a very good progress. I got a lot of new resources, a lot of new fun stuff. We got radar tower technology, and when I'm thinking of it, maybe the next time we can also unlock that for the hard drive, because there are some recipes that can also help us out very well. So for now, if you have some tips and tricks, then let me know in the comment section, and then yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ah, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. Maybe he means this one? What do I need? Can't afford? Why? Don't I have everything?